little story I could tell.
Okay.
It's something to do with sex, but
it
it has nothing to do with sex, but it was
Looks like we're live.
scary.
it looks like
Are
we're
we
live.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to a very special episode of Guys We Hug Down There.
It's the Anti-Slut Shaming Podcast live on YouTube. The last time from this studio, okay? It's not the last one ever. People were freaking out about the caption that I wrote, and I was like, I understand, but I was like, you think I
We
would
appreciate your sadness though, with the thought that it might end.
But
so
also, like,
thanks.
that I would be that casual about it. Just, like,
Yeah.
post a
All right,
picture
we're
of
done.
myself backstage at the Bell House and be like, yeah, this is actually the end of it. How callous do you think I am? A lot, I think, according to the internet. But that's your problem, not mine. I'm
Yeah, it
Corinne
is.
Fisher.
I'm Krystyna Hutchinson.
Welcome to the show. Mikey Coscarelli is here.
Mikey.
Hello, everybody. How you
Mikey,
doing?
big dong. Mikey, has it been over a minute?
Who knows?
Has it been over a minute? Let's
It's
see.
been years.
It has been, a minute
Fuck,
and 2
shit,
seconds.
cut, core, hunt.
He's a grown man, and he loves wearing shorts, a light shirt.
It is 100 degrees outside.
That's an exaggeration.
It's really not that bad,
it's
Mike.
so
It's not that bad.
When it's like 65 degrees or up, Mike comes in panting. He has one of those like gas masks on.
My God,
like he's
Michael.
living in Gotham City.
It's just, I the summer in particular, man. It's just the minute it gets mid-May, I'm done. I'm done till
You're done.
September.
Yeah.
Shirts open, shirts are on. I fucking hate it.
Wow.
What a
He's always
treasure to go
full-
on a summer date with Michael.
Yeah, just so many positive things coming out of his mouth and how much he loves life and everything in it and the life he's created he's so happy with.
It's been a tough couple weeks.
Oh, sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. How you doing, Corinne?
Oh, amazing! Just I diarrheaed out 2 pounds.
Oh, skinny bitch.
Yeah.
Stop bragging.
And I even ate a bagel on my way home from the studio this morning to try and just get something back in my system. But yeah,
Came right out your butt.
didn't come right out, but it didn't even like make an impact at all.
What-
Like that was a lot of mass loss.
Yeah, I'll say.
The volume of my body is
One
it's
time
gone down.
One time I had a stomach bug that was so bad that the food was coming out the bottom end, the butthole, as like whole. I'm like, that's a thing that can happen?
Oh.
Wow, that was scary. Honestly, that was pretty scary.
Wait, like I mean,
whole
like a
peas.
full.
Like
peas I can see.
Peas you could digest though.
Right.
Not me at that time.
Right, because I was like, I can see it, like peas coming out, like little nuggets.
peep,
in it. Yeah.
Like a poop out of a bunny's butthole.
Wow.
I had a drum lesson yesterday morning, and I was walking back from it was a great drum lesson. I did great. I advanced to beat sheet number 3. I was very proud of myself because I really
Beat
practiced
sheet,
hard.
all right.
Yeah, with rhythm patterns.
Yeah.
So he gives me pages, so I'm on level 3 now, not to brag. I'm addicted to drumming. I think it's so fun. And
Yeah.
I was walking back to my car, and I was in such a great mood. I was so happy. I was like, man, I crushed it. I was, listen, I was hand drumming in the air. And as I was walking under the 59th Street Bridge
I know.
in Queens, a baby pigeon, which you never see.
Yeah.
You never see. They're always full grown. You never see it was like a teenager, I would say. It wasn't like a newly hatched chick, but it was a pigeon. It was like not fully an adult. It just, as I walked by the bridge, it fell to my, like almost right next to me as I was walking by. And I was like, oh my God. And it started shaking. It was in so much pain. It was making these noises that I was like, oh, and I just stood there in horror. And then I wanted to help it or hold it, or I didn't know what to do. And then it opened its mouth and like looked up, and then just blood came pouring out. And I was bawling. I couldn't find my car after that. That fucked me up, dude. I've had the
so
weirdest.
weird.
One time I saw Hamilton with Ryan Reese, and as we exited the theater, like crowds of people were exiting the theater, a bird flew into my leg.
I've had a bird fly into
I've
my
had that too.
forehead. Yeah.
Forehead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
its wingspan. I was on my way to Liebman Entertainment,
Ah.
and I walked in, and I just went to the bathroom and started washing my forehead, and everyone was like, "What?" And I was like, "A bird flew directly into my
That's
forehead,
wild.
and then swiped its wing across my forehead."
Whoa.
Just because birds have a lot of, I love animals, but they have a lot of disease.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of
Especially these
them.
New York City
Yeah.
scoundrels.
Well, I was trying to
Yeah.
look up, like, what is the spiritual significance of that? Obviously, I'm going to look that up. because that was just, the timing of it was weird. And it made me so, I was bummed, man. I was crying like a child. I'm like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Oh my God. And when I went on the internet, all these bitches with blogs going, but there's like 20 things it could mean. But it was like, it either means something you have really good luck, or you have really bad luck, or you're about to die, or you're about to be born. And I'm like, how do you write this article and press publish and think that you're helping? It gave me no answers.
Well, it was very interesting because I have a very personal experience with a bird, and that reminded me when you posted that, I was like, oh, this reminded me of that. I don't think I ever talked about it on the show. I don't remember, but like it's a thing going on in my family, and like my mom is the one who put this in my head, so it's not even me.
Well, they're usually omens of death a lot of times.
Yeah, so
Crows.
I mean, a couple months before my dad got sick, a black bird flew inside my parents' house. And my mom is an English teacher, so she's very into like literary meaning and omens and stuff.
Yes,
but not
sci-fi.
so more in a literary way than like the way that we are with like a woo-woo way. But she definitely did look it up, and like it's something that she like told the family afterwards, and I was just like, oh no. And then I remember coming home from my dad's, it wasn't a funeral because he was cremated, but my dad's viewing. And there was a dead bird on the lawn as well.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, keep in mind, these are not the only times in my life that I've seen dead birds. I mean, especially in New York City, like there's always dead birds like on the ground.
Yes.
And even in like suburban New Jersey.
They get kicked out of the nest. You think your mom was terrible to you? Some baby birds just get straight up kicked in the head out of the nest onto the ground.
Yeah, it was interesting. And I remember I asked our spiritual guide Maria about it.
Love her.
And I didn't ask her about the blackbird in the house, but I asked her about the bird on the lawn, and she was like, she took that more of a sign of like rebirth.
Right. A lot of the articles said that. One of the things that most of the articles that I read said was, pay attention to like, what are you doing after that day? Like, what do you have scheduled after that? And I thought, and I was like, I'm getting my pussy waxed.
Right.
But I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Yeah, I mean it's hard, but then the bird I think recently flew in the house again. So this is like almost exactly 2 years later. So then my mom was like freaked out, and I was like,
that is freaky.
And I was like, I hear you, and if there's anyone in the family who's gonna believe this, it's gonna be me more than you and my brother. But I was like, let's do what they do on the ghost hunting shows and look for other logical things. I said, is there a space where maybe there's a hole in the house that we need to patch up?
Right.
And so then my mom started looking around, and there was like, we have a fireplace. We don't use it, but I think that's where she found it, like in the chimney or something. She explained it, whatever. Sorry, Mom, if this is incorrect. She likes to fact check my things, and I go, this is entertainment. No, this is not a thesis project, this show. God forbid. And then she did find a space in the house that, obviously like animals could be getting in. Because at one point a raccoon also got in our house. So I go, obviously.
I love raccoons.
I go, obviously there's something going on.
Yeah.
We allegedly a couple years ago had a squirrel in our house that terrorized my sister.
Allegedly?
That's hilarious.
Nicole was home alone and the squirrel got in, and
poor
she
Nicole.
called my dad, and she was like, "There's a squirrel in the house."
Oh,
my dad didn't know what to do.
That's
so
so
fuck.
funny.
Poor Nicole.
I don't know if this works for squirrels, but the way they ultimately got the raccoon out of the house was they played rap music in where it was hiding, because they don't like the I guess
sounds?
Raccoons are racist.
I guess the like the beats, or like, because it's such a like a loud vibration, like like if you were like feeling the sounds of rap, it's more that's what ultimately got the raccoon out of the house.
Wow. Oh, I love raccoons. If a raccoon was in my house, I'd be like, you're mine now.
And then it claws you in the face.
That's dangerous.
And I'd be like, well, we'll work on that.
I do love raccoon sanctuaries. I follow a lot of raccoon sanctuaries.
There's so many videos
Instagram.
of raccoons like in people's backyards, and then when they turn on the light, they just stop moving and they freeze wherever they are, as if we can't see them because they're not moving, and it's so fucking funny. Raccoons freezing and goats fainting, two of my favorite things on YouTube.
What makes a goat faint?
So a lot of them, their nervous systems get overstimulated and their whole body stiffens and they fall over stiffly. It's so funny.
Oh.
And it's such a, like, that's my spirit animal is a fainting goat. Because I like, if I get too stressed out, I'm like, I want to take a nap. Yeah.
That's so cute.
So yeah. Got my pussy waxed again. It was really fun. But the
It didn't itch growing back?
No, it didn't itch.
Oh, that's
and it
good.
was super easy. And I wanted to try, because I took a video of the first time, a video of my face. And I didn't take a video of this, but I wanted to see if I could do it without making a facial expression, because you know how difficult that is for me, because I express everything too
I don't know
much.
that I could even do that.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I was
It's
like,
one of the most unpleasant experiences I've had is getting my vagina waxed.
I really like it.
I do not. That's why I
like it.
lasered.
I don't like the wax. I'm not like yay, but it's just I like the waxed vagina.
Yeah,
It's doing it for me.
The itchiness was too much. I could not handle it. It was keeping me up at night. I was just rubbing like creams on it. And then, but also when it grows back, I feel like how many days? What is it actually like? Smooth.
Like at least 10 to 12.
Maybe that's because it was new. I wonder that I'm like my or maybe my hair just grows a lot faster because mine was like 3 days. I was like, this is an insane amount of pain to go through to see it, stubble peeking out within 3 days.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't see any stubble.
Also,
your
hair is a lot lighter than mine, so
Yeah.
I think like the
roots though,
darker hair is more coarse usually.
The follicles of my pubes are nice and thick, as Chris said, who waxed it. It is weird.
Is that good or bad?
It's bad for pain, but it is weird to have a woman who I love her. Shout out at Heel with Chris. Go to her. She saved my skin. To be so in my butthole with a bright light that I'm like, that's the most intimate anyone's ever been with my butthole.
What kind of a light is she putting on your butthole?
I mean, just like these, they're not these exact like studio lights, but like hospital grade like lights, so she could see what she's doing. Because then you got to tweeze the hairs that survive.
Yeah.
And this time around, I let her do it. Last time I was like, don't even look at it. But yeah, it is very strange. It's a nice like practice being comfortable with intimacy when a woman's just like her face is in your asshole.
It is weird
with bright lights. I mean, she didn't mind. I'm like, God bless you.
Yeah,
God bless you.
That was always weird for me.
Guys, this is a call-in episode. So if you're watching and you want to call in, you got a problem, you got a dilemma, do you have a crazy story you want to tell us? Is there something you've learned about anything about the categories that we usually talk about? Oh, somebody just texted me. Hi, ladies and Mike. Could you read an email I sent tonight? Okay. What's your name? What's your name?
You got it.
The number is 917-300-0833. The phone lines are open. Okay. And if you are watching this and you see us talking to somebody, don't call, because then I'm gonna accidentally hang up and all that shit. I don't want to do that.
Also, have you ever had a dream? So I had a dream. I was in my diarrhea fever dream that I was having. There's something when I have like just really bad, like diarrhea. I like take a nap and I sweat during the nap always.
Oh, I've sometimes.
Only during a diarrhea nap, and you can answer it.
Okay.
I'm just finishing a story about diarrhea. Hold, please.
Press 1 to start the call.
Hi, we'll be right with you. Corinne's just talking about her diarrhea, so hang on tight, okay?
And so have you ever had a dream that was so vivid where like someone is like in a dream, someone's calling on the phone and you can look at the call and you see the name of the person calling? I was like, because on my psychic visions recently, but not, I don't know which ones to take as psychic and which ones are just dreams, which is the problem with having psychic visions, because you go, I'm not going to know
what happened in the
many of them. Well, it was very interesting who was calling on the line. And I was like, that's a weird. That's a weird call.
Hi, listener. Thanks for calling. You're live with Guys We Fucked. What's your name and what can we do you for?
Hi, my name is Allie. I am calling because I'm having this sounds so stupid, but I'm having best friend trouble.
That's not stupid.
That's more important than man troubles.
Hell yeah, girl. What's going on?
So we used to be roommates. We lived together for like 7 total years. The last 2 we've lived together was great, and then she got a baller job and was like, I kind of want to live on my own for once in my life. And I was like, for sure, girl, go do that.
Yeah.
So she moved into an apartment across the street from me, and I kept our apartment just for me.
Mm-hmm.
So now we both like are just living our lives alone, and I feel like we never see each other anymore, and I feel like she's low-key ghosting me, and I don't want to be like a needy friend and be like,
That's
"Hi,
not needy.
are
Yes.
we okay?" But I like don't know what to do.
Okay, well, what's making you think that she's ghosting you? Because it's for me, just hearing this raw with not a lot of information, it feels like you might be making this up in your head. Not like you're crazy, but just like like she chose the job over you or something. Like, have you made plans that she hasn't responded to? Are you texting her and she's not responding? Like, or are you just like trying to be cool friend and then she's not actively initiating a reach out to you?
There's been a few times where I have tried to reach out to make plans, and she's been like, "Oh, I can't tonight," or I'm not really in the mood to like hang out, and I'm like, "Okay, like that's cool," but she doesn't really then go, "What about this day?"
Right, so she's kind of blowing you
and
off.
then there was a group hang with some mutual friends, and I did not get an invite. And then I texted,
But
and then there was another group hang that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. But I was gonna say, was there any? Have you thought back and is there any reason? Was there any warning signs? Like when you look, if you can look at the past couple of years, like without
that she would be upset with you,
bias, or is it something like motivationally? Do you think that she feels like I have no idea what you do for a career, but like you said, she got a baller job. So does she feel? Could it be possible that like you are like? She feels like maybe you're holding her back in like her goals, because I don't know how old you are, but like I've certainly there have certainly been periods in my time when like I want to move on and really fucking put my foot on the gas and get shit going in my career. And not that I don't love the people that I used to hang out with, but they just don't have the same level of motivation, and so because of that I had to shed them. It truly wasn't personal, it was business.
Do you think that might be it?
I don't think so, just because she got a baller job in the sense that like it pays really well, but she's not like she's not like, this is what I love and I'm going to do this forever.
Got it.
I just meant like she could afford her own apartment for once, because we live in California, so it's very expensive.
Have you talked to her about this at all?
So I texted her, and because there was another group hang that was supposed to happen that a different friend invited me to, and it got canceled. So I texted her and was like, "Hey, since this thing got canceled, do you want to go get dinner?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Well, Jerry, my boyfriend, her boyfriend."
She almost said the real name, Mike.
They
Oh,
already had
Oh, is that what it was?
Hello, yes.
Okay, making sure. I thought I
He
was
thought
going
you
to
had
that's what it
seizure
was.
on
I thought you
air,
had a stroke.
and I was just like looking at him like she obviously like almost said the real name and is trying to protect the innocent,
Thanks, Corinne. Anyways, but so I said she invited me to hang out with the both of them, and since I kind of wanted to talk to her about how I was feeling, I was like, "That's okay. Can we just hang out the two of us? Let me know when you're free." And it's been a week, and she has not replied.
Something's up. Something's definitely up. I mean, the thing is, the only thing that you can do is just kind of continue to pursue an individual hangout with her, and then if she keeps blowing you off, I would say write her an email and just say, "Hey, I'm really." I had these concerns that maybe you were blowing me off, and then based off the last couple weeks, the evidence seems to be continuously mounting towards that outcome. Am I correct, or is there something going on? I would love to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, just ask her at this point. Just ask her. I mean, just say like, "Hey, are you upset with me for some reason?" Just ask. Because it's already been this long. Like you're calling into a show about it. I feel like you gave enough examples of times when it seems like
You guys should have hung out.
right, and her job's not as baller as I originally thought. Because getting a new job, and if you're going from a job to a career, that really does take up a lot of your time. And I totally could understand her just being exhausted and not having the bandwidth to hang out. I would totally get, but it doesn't seem like that's so.
Yeah, and the fact that you live across the street from each other now, that's not that far.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be this difficult.
Yeah,
but she is a dismissive avoidant, and I'm an anxious preoccupied, so I'm kind of scared to be express my needs, and then her be like, "You're being too needy."
Well, so what you got to do is, as Brene Brown says, fact check that. So if you feel the urge to contact her, and then this fear comes up of I'm being too needy, look at the facts and go, look at the track record of the times you've tried to hang out with her, and where she's very clearly said no or didn't invite you or kind of brushed you off, you have ample evidence to make you think that she's avoiding you. The thing is, you don't know why. It could be for any number of reasons, and just be careful not to assume the reason, because especially if you're anxious attachment, you can very easily get in your head of like, what did I do? The thing is, you don't know. It could be something going on with her personally. Maybe she's having something with her something's happening with her boyfriend, and she doesn't feel comfortable talking to a friend about it yet. But yeah, you just got to reach out and then write an email if she keeps blowing you off.
Also, you're not dating, so you don't got to take those attachment styles as seriously. Like, friendship should be a lot more low maintenance than relationships. And it concerns me that she's like your friend, and you're still like worried to talk to her about something. Like, that should be a lot easier in a friendship.
Yeah. So use this as practice to like really plow through your anxieties towards starting a conversation that could potentially be uncomfortable, but that's okay. You're not going to die. If anything, you'll be better people afterwards.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. All right, I'm going to talk to her.
Yeah, good. Okay, I hope it goes well.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
You guys are the
Thanks
best.
for calling.
I appreciate you.
We appreciate
All
you.
right, bye.
Mike has removed his shoes.
Oh my God,
his
Mike.
man foot's out.
Jesus Christ.
Nothing more
Problem?
repulsive than looking at a fucking man foot.
It's under the desk.
I can see it.
All right,
Okay.
I'll put it.
Okay, wait.
I just looked up. His toes are in my face.
Okay, so this person wanted us to read their email. Oh, we're getting another call. We'll read your email in a second.
Wait,
Or two to decline.
Oh, like an email that they sent to the Sorry About Last Night
Whoops.
account.
Fuck. I accidentally hung up. Call again. Oh, I'm assuming it's this one. Oh, okay. Well, the bonus episode. The thing is, the person who emailed us, this isn't a bonus episode. This is a live YouTube episode, so I want to make sure that that's okay to still read it.
Yeah, it says behind paywall only. So
Is
I'm
it
guessing
okay
you
to
don't want it
read
on YouTube.
Though
which is
we aren't
the least
behind
paywall-y
a
of the
paywall.
ways.
Although we did just get a tip from Hermie. So
Oh,
shout
yeah,
out to Hermie.
keep forgetting we get tips.
Oh, thank you, Hermie.
Zach in Rhode Island.
Or two to
We do
decline.
appreciate
Press
that. We
one
are
to
moving studios, so if you want to, oh my God, it would be cool if we were like, can you tip us and then like put your name on a bad bitch or bad
yeah,
bastard.
we'll paint it on our studio wall.
part of
Hi,
a-
hello caller. Thanks for calling in to Guys We Fucked. You're live. What's your name and how can we help you out?
Hi, my name is Heidi.
Hello.
I am in Columbus, Ohio.
Ooh, so sorry. So sorry.
Not the greatest.
Uh-oh.
Sorry.
I know. It's
Columbus,
okay.
don't we, Corinne?
I'm not from.
I still literally get
No, we
triggered
don't.
when someone says Columbus. That's how fucking deeply
Yeah.
I know.
Columbus,
I get
Ohio
triggered.
has affected me.
We both got screwed in Columbus.
And I love Columbus.
And not in a fun way.
I actually do love Columbus.
So, all right.
It's a great city. I was born in New York and raised in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
So I've been a little bit all over, but Columbus, yeah, I love living downtown.
Nice.
So mine isn't really like asking for any advice, but I know over the years, Corinne, you've kind of like wondered if like people living apart in a relationship, like if it could work. And I think I have an example of my mom and dad.
Oh my gosh, I'm sure it could work for
so-
me, but yeah, for others, yeah.
So what do your mom and dad do?
Yeah. So my mom is the president of a we'll just say a healthcare organization in Long Island.
Nice.
And my dad just kind of works for PennDOT here and there, like during the winter, plowing roads and stuff. So
Yeah.
he goes and travels to see her at least every 2 weeks. She has been living in Long Island for 3 years now, and he's been living in Pennsylvania, 5 hours away. So
That's probably awesome.
Yeah,
but-
Because they get their alone time and
I-
they're
it's
together.
exactly. So I mean, they've made it work for the most part. My mom has also traveled a lot, like throughout my life, and fucked me up just enough, you know.
Right, yeah.
But so I think that they got used to that over the years, and kind of make it work that way now.
Wow.
And I don't know if my dad ever has plans of leaving the farm, as we call it in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
How long have they been married?
Yeah. So they have been married for 28 years.
Wow. That's pretty sick. Like 20 was
Yeah.
so it was like what 20 so they've been apart for 3, like living apart?
Yes, but even when my mom was traveling for work, she was traveling for probably at least a week at a time, and at least 2 to 3 times a month. So,
Wow.
and that was for a period of about 12 years.
That sounds dreamlike, because then you get your independence,
Yeah,
and then you
well,
also have like the safety of a
exactly.
loving relationship.
This might be too nosy, but do you know for sure that they're monogamous?
Yes, they are for sure monogamous. Not too nosy at all. My mom, though, she is a former alcoholic. She's been sober for also about 3 years.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Getting away from your dad really helped her.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
It's
That's
funny.
incredible.
He stopped drinking before she did. Like, my dad has done everything in his life to like
Even
support
heroin?
her. I mean,
Oh, so he was not an alcoholic. He just did it. He just did it in support of her, or
yes. Yeah,
interesting.
Well, that's
exactly.
nice.
He was not an alcoholic at all.
Wow. And they like really
Yeah.
love each other.
Yeah,
Like when they're
so-
together, are they like lovey-dovey? Like they really like each other?
My mom still sometimes will like bring up like money things, like, oh, like she's a little bit fat shamey as well.
Oh.
So sometimes she'll fat shame my dad and say, you're not going to live for me to like use all this money and stuff. So just a little bit of like,
Just mild abuse.
it
Playful
seems like
banter.
kind of normal things,
Yeah.
playful banter. Yeah.
Can I
But
ask
that's all being
about?
from New York. Some of it just seems,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was just going to ask about. So that's a very long amount of time to be married to someone who's an active alcoholic. Like, do you have any insight from? I mean, I'm guessing she was an alcoholic when you were living in the house. Like, that's fascinating to me that it lasted that long under such duress.
yeah. So she smoked cigarettes for a really long time until she was about 40 when she quit cold turkey. And then that's kind of when the drinking picked up more.
Yeah,
so,
you let go of one, the other one
Yeah.
ramps up.
Seems like you should just go back to the cigarettes.
Yeah.
yeah, right. But she, so I mean, we were going with her to the store. She was buying like 2 cases of red, 2 cases of white a week.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, I mean, they definitely got into some pretty heated fights. My dad punched the wall once.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
But other than that, I mean, it
Wow.
seemed like he just kind of knew how to deal with her, I guess.
Wow. Yeah, that goes to show you when 2 people know how to
Yeah.
handle each other, it really can work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely ruined like me. I haven't been in a relationship in almost 6 years now because I'm like, well, I got to find a man as good as my dad, and like not in a creepy way,
Right.
but it's just really difficult.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I'm
Especially
in
where
Columbus,
you're at.
Ohio.
You're in Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Godspeed for that. Well, thank you so much
Yeah.
for calling in. That's a really cool little
Of
story to keep in
course.
mind.
Thank you guys so much. It was so great talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for chatting with us.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Wow. You know what drink I'm obsessed with now?
What
That
drink?
I know you love? Aperol Spritz.
Oh yeah, it means you're aging.
Oh, I've never had one
The
before.
drink
I'm
of
like,
a 40-year-old
I
divorcee.
got a bottle of Aperol in my thing.
It's a
And
fantastic
I went,
drink.
you know how people have like a glass of wine at night? I've never really done that, but I made myself a little Aperol Spritz last night. I didn't have the whole thing, but I was like, this is fucking delicious.
It's a great drink. It's also an amazing summer drink.
Before we take the call,
Oh,
what is the number? Just so I can pin it.
Hi, 1 second, please, caller. It's the number is 917-300-0833.
0833.
Hello, caller. You're live on Guys We Fucked. What's your name? What can we do you for?
Hi, hey, how's it going? My name's Ryan, and I have a non-relationship question.
Let's go, Ryan. What do you got?
Okay, so I have a little story for some context.
Okay.
So I saw a female comedian, a very attractive female comedian, and it was like a Thursday night show, so it wasn't, fully packed or anything like that.
Oh boy.
And after the show, she was out like setting up her merch table and stuff. And during the show, she did like some material on some of her male fans being sort of creepy. So I just walked directly by the merch table thing and just was like, I'm not going to bother her right now. What made me feel weird about it was like, if that was like a Big J or like a, Tim Butterley or something, I would definitely go and say, hey, and blah, blah, blah.
For sure.
I'm laughing
how do you
so
guys
hard. He's
feel-
like, Big J, Tim Butterly, on the same level. No
Well,
shade to Tim, but that just made me laugh.
Well, you're saying you would feel comfortable approaching them,
Yeah.
but not her because there's an attraction there.
Well, it's not even that I'm attracted. My main concern is coming off like another creepy fan and having like a sour taste in my mouth interaction wise, because I know guys are creeps and can be creeps.
They are?
Yeah.
But
you're
also
right.
like, where's the line in fandom and kind of like what would you guys?
So don't lingering? Absolutely not. You don't linger. But coming up and saying, "Hey, I really loved your set. I think you're really funny." That's great. Whatever you would say to Big J, well, no, I take that back. Just talk, like saying how much you appreciated the set. If you did, don't fucking lie.
We're humans. You can just talk to us normal. Like this call to me like has the vibe of like, man, you can't even hit on a woman anymore because it's the Me Too movement. Just like don't go up and be like nice tits. Be like I like your work and then walk away and you're good.
Yeah, just don't linger and don't say anything about her body. You know?
Yeah.
Those are the two big tips. Men go to shows by themselves. Women go to shows by themselves. That's not fun. That's not weird at all. And if a comic thinks that's weird, then they're not. They've only been doing it for 2 months.
Yeah, I think when you want to go to a show alone, that just shows that you're actually like a true comedy fan.
Yeah,
that's
it's
all
appreciated.
that says.
That going to a show alone is never interpreted as creepy or anything other than like, I'm so fucking glad you came out.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. You know.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
get
so
out of my head
curious.
about it and
I'm
just be an
so
old
curious
person.
with this female who this was.
Yeah, who was it?
Setting up her own merch table, so
Who
it's
was,
not.
She's not doing that great.
Yeah.
It was Liz Mealy.
Oh, she's doing very great. Oh, I love Liz.
She would have been
Oh,
so
she's
nice.
the nicest. She's so fucking sweet.
Yeah.
And she's a great comedian.
Liz is great.
Yeah. She's amazing.
Yeah. And
And she does
Oh
have
no,
really
she was
great merch.
she was wonderful. Her
Yeah.
set was
She's
set was
fucking
really good. A Thursday night show where you just have a single show. She went up there, did an hour, amazing.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to come off like a fangirl, and I don't know if you guys get that feeling.
No,
Some of your male
comedians
fans where you're
need
like,
fans.
No, yeah, comedians need fans. And honestly, I've been much more terrified of women in my years as a comedian than I have of men. There was only one guy who came up to me after a show at New York Comedy Club and was lingering, which is why I say do not linger.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to rape you." And I was like, "Okay, you can go to hell,
Oh, yeah,
and
well,
I'm going to
that's-
never
yeah.
see you again."
Weird opener.
Yeah.
I'd go rework
Well,
that.
he said it like 10 minutes into our interaction, and I was like, the conversation wasn't weird. There wasn't even a lull for you you just kind of interjected, and I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah, he's like people try to another thing. Don't try to be funny to the comedian.
Oh yes, very good.
just
tip.
act
Very good.
normal.
That's
I mean,
the,
unless you're just by chance a hilarious comedian.
or a hilarious person. Yeah.
Oh
but
yeah,
then-
so that's a hilarious person. That's what I mean. Yeah, and I mean, have you done things like, do you follow her on Instagram? Did you like subscribe to her YouTube, stuff like that? I mean, like that's like if you really want to show that you appreciate her.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff that comedians need, and I think especially female comedians, because female comedians have a problem where like they have it's a lot of female fans, but like they for some reason it's harder for them to conquer like the male demographic, whereas male comedians have lots of female and lots of male fans. So I
Yeah.
think that's like the best way to like
follow her on
be
her social
supportive.
media. Yeah. And Liz is the shit. Liz is amazing.
Buy her albums, stuff like that.
But also too, if you want to tell her you appreciate her set and stuff, like DM her definitely, or next time you see her, like definitely tell her that. Comedians love to hear that shit.
all right, great guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the advice.
Thanks for calling
supporting
in.
All right,
women
take
in
care.
comedy.
Yeah, thanks for supporting live comedy. We appreciate you. Have a
Thanks.
good night.
That was so funny. That made me laugh. That tickled me. That really tickled me.
Oh my god. Okay, you guys, you can call now. Any advice for learning to? Oh, someone's calling.
Unknown.
I can hear you breathing.
Well, what do you want me to do? Stop breathing?
Suffocate. Hi, hello. You're live on Guys We Fucked. What's your name and how can we help you?
My gosh. Hi, guys. I can't believe I made it through.
What's your name?
My name's Veronica.
Veronica. Hi.
I was going to not say, but said it, so
Okay.
here we are. Thanks for taking my call. So I know you guys have mentioned in the past, like going through friendship breakups.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hoping to grab your advice on that.
Theme of the
So-
show today.
Me and
Yeah.
this girl have been friends for a long time. I recently left the Christian church. I know, Corinne, I just watched your Hill Tobacco. Oh, so good. That was amazing.
Thank you.
But I just feel like I kind of have to step away because there's like, I can't be friends with her in the church with the situation. So
Yeah.
do you think that requires like a conversation? I'm bad. I feel like I just want to ghost and not deal with it. But I feel like, I don't know. Should I ghost? Should I
Have some
just have a
integrity.
conversation?
Yeah, you've been friends for a long
Right,
time. You've been friends for a long time and use this as an opportunity for you to grow. So, and also too, like the roots of Christianity, like Jesus seemed like a dope motherfucker. Like, and he wouldn't have ghosted. Well, he technically ghosted everybody, but he was murdered too.
But he
so I
came
guess
back.
Yeah, that's true. So he did come back. So he didn't ghost. But I would say act in a way that you would be proud of. And I don't think you would look back on the situation and be proud of ghosting this person. I'm not necessarily saying you would be ashamed of it or should be ashamed of it. However, I think that like situations like these are perfect opportunities for you to practice being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, can I ask you also, like,
Sure.
what would you say to like just separate, like nothing's no bad blood. I just don't feel like I can continue this friendship. Like, is that
Is she
kind
so
of the route?
consumed by Christianity that you feel like there is no her that is not like enveloped in Christianity?
Is she one of those?
I feel like there's part of that. I feel like anytime you hang out with like that type of person, and she's great, there's nothing bad. It's just like they kind of always look at you like you're the one they're trying to bring back in.
Right.
Kind of.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that shit.
Right, because I would just say like
Yeah,
if
so-
I was her, I would want like
Some closure.
a little bit of a reason, and because she is not the church, but like are you leaving because you have now different religious views? Do you feel like it's culty? Is there a safety issue? You can be vague, but I just
What are your reasons for leaving?
the church, yeah.
It's a little culty. I grew up in it, so I
Culty,
didn't know
okay.
anything different until I kind of started therapy and then realized. I mean, I'm more spiritual now, but definitely just culty. That's kind of where I'm
Yeah.
at right now.
For sure. Yeah. So if you're comfortable communicating with her your honest reasons for leaving, but you know her better. So if you think she's going to take this as an opportunity to resell you on it, then maybe that's not worth disclosing. So
And if it's Scientology, definitely don't be honest, because they're gonna come fucking kill
that's
you.
Christianity. That's a form of Christianity.
No,
The
but
good old Hillsong.
I don't know.
So,
Yeah, you gotta go missing. Don't
I mean,
go missing.
Hillsong is in that realm, yeah.
Yeah. So I would share.
I had a.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I went into my Spotify and found some lingering Hillsongs, and just like had to delete them after that breakdown, Corinne. But
Damn.
yeah, I think that's great advice. To hear that, I just gotta buck up and do it.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be uncomfortable.
love you
but
guys.
That's okay. Yeah, we love you too. Thanks so much for calling. Thanks for listening in.
Thank you. Peace be with you.
And with you. Oh, the blood of Christ. Church is kind of goth.
Church is pretty goth. Catholicism, very goth.
Any advice for learning to take connections for what they are and the great experiences instead of getting wrapped up in the details of the past and the future? I have feelings for a man that lives 6 hours away. We spend a weekend together when one of us is in each other's cities, and we have such a great connection time. But when he leaves, I'm gutted and emotional. Maybe you have abandonment issues. I might be projecting that though. I think about how I want to make plans out of my way to go see him, but I don't. Any advice on not getting wrapped up in relationship headspace in an unrealistic situation?
Well, I mean,
Have you talked to this person?
Yeah, it's like I don't even think this is like any like thing crazy. It's just like, yeah, you made yourself have feelings for a guy who lives 6 hours away. Duh.
That's on you. That's on you.
That's not
Or
good.
2 to decline.
Either you
Press
have
1
to
to
be ready
the
to
call will
move
start at the
or ready
beep.
to be sad.
Hey, what's up? You're live on Guys We Fucked. What's your name? You can give us a fake one if you want. And how can we help you today?
Hi, my name's Zach.
Hello.
We actually met in 2018 in the Rogue Island Comedy Festival.
Nice.
I was that
This is
lanky
incredible.
dude who was on stage. I wasn't experienced at the time with relationships or anything sexually related at the time, and you would ask me, you're like, "How old are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm 19." And you're like, "Oh, get the fuck off the stage. You don't need to worry about that right now."
Nice. Great
but
advice by us.
Did you
here
hoe
I
it up
am.
since then?
Exactly. That's exactly why I'm calling.
Good for you.
I'm giving you guys a 5-year update.
Oh, I love this for us and you. What's going on?
So, no longer inexperienced.
Slut.
I'll
Nice.
start with that. I'm actually just getting out of a relationship right now, and I was wondering what you guys' opinions is on breakup sex.
Oh, with the person that you broke up with. Oof. It's so hot and toxic.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's not a good idea, which makes you probably want to do it even more. I personally, when I break up with somebody, I am done. So I've never had it, but boy, I imagine it's fun.
How did the breakup happen? Like what, I need a little more information about
So-
the breakup.
It was very healthy, actually.
We'll be
So
the judge of
she
that.
was she was my neighbor. Our parents lived next to each other.
Oh.
And I was going through a tough breakup at the time. And, she was like, "Oh, here, have a shoulder to cry on." And I was like, "Oh, you coached me." And we started talking. I invited her over, and I ended up giving her a book for her birthday one day. Anyways, we end up getting into the relationship, but as the relationship goes on, she tells me about like 2 months in that she's a virgin herself. And here I am hoeing it up.
Nice.
Like,
I can show you
our
my
libidos
dick.
our libidos were completely unmatched.
Mm.
By the end of the relationship, I hadn't had sex in like a month and a half, and I was just waiting. Essentially, I didn't want to be the aggressor because I know she had said prior that she feels pressured every time that we hang out to have sex, and I'm like, well, I mean,
What part of this
kind of
is saying fuck buddy?
Yeah.
so essentially, I had moved halfway through the relationship. I picked up a job down the road, aka Connecticut,
Okay.
and we had started seeing each other a lot less, but we tried this long distance thing. Like how it always works out is, marriage with long distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a joke. And we tried it out, and it just didn't work out. But the thing was, after we had a call, we had to sit down. We were like, "Hey, I know." She looked at me. She's like, "I know you're unhappy. I can tell that you're kind of sticking it out just for me, and I really appreciate that. But I don't think it's going to work out." And I said, "Thank God. I didn't want to break your heart." So it was like I interpreted it as she was so in love with me that she was willing to put aside the relationship for my happiness, and I was so in love with her that I was willing to stick in the relationship for her to not break her heart.
It sounds like neither of you were
But-
in love.
Yeah, that's love. That's not in love. That's love.
Right.
If you were in love with her
You'd
and she was
fuck.
in love with you, you guys would still be in a relationship.
Well, and you'd want to fornicate your love. You know what I mean?
I still don't see any part of this where you guys should absolutely at all be having sex anymore. So please, where's the part where
Well-
that comes?
That was what's today? Like, so that was that was Saturday.
Real time updates from Zach.
Love it.
I went back home to swap items, and you know, we had been like, it was weird because she started flirting with me immediately after we broke up, and it's like she was giving me everything that she wanted after the relationship, and it's like, I don't know, it's mixed signals right now, but
Yeah.
I, you know, as a ooga booga caveman brain myself, I had to get enticed and fall into the trap, and we ended up having sex on Saturday.
She got you.
Yeah, she pulled the wool over my eyes.
How
She
was
pulled
the
old
sex?
gotcha. It was great. It was probably the best of the relationship.
Wow. Okay, so that to me says that maybe your dynamic works better when you're not together like that. Like, and that's, I don't know what. There's so many. That's like a common thing I think to experience. But I think at the end of the day, what that means is there's some kind of mental block with her and relationships. Because it's like, you know, like with women, sometimes women can be like, oh, for me, if I'm on the fence about a guy, like, am I attracted to him or not? Do I want to pursue him? I don't know. And then another woman comes along, like, oh, that guy's hot. I'm like, yeah, he's hot and he's mine. Fuck off. And so it's like that, kind of like that, but like like for her, the breaking up was more the push for her. But if you, are you in love with each other?
No, I don't think it was. I felt like, you know, it wasn't going to work out because I had just graduated and she was still in college, and she really didn't have time for a boyfriend, to be fair.
How long did you date for?
We did, our year was supposed to be this Monday.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't that long. Oh, okay. Well, so if you can confidently say that she's not in love with you, I actually think it's fine to hook up. Just hook up.
Yeah, it seems like she might be though. And did she say?
I want to make sure her heart's protected in this.
Because she might just be like, yeah, I feel like it's like a little too messy for it to be worth it. And like, why don't you just like end it on having great sex for one time?
Yeah.
Like, you know, mic drop it. But did you guys discuss being sex partners moving forward, or are you?
We did.
Yeah, and then what did that conversation go like?
So it was like right after the sex, obviously, because that's the best time to have it.
Duh.
And I was like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I can just cut this off right now. It's like there's still like a wisp of something left.
Oh,
and
dear.
she was like, you know, we don't have to like break it off right now. And I was like, all right, what about if I just stick in Connecticut, you don't ask me what goes on here, but when I come home, because literally our parents live right next to each other.
This is a terrible.
I know. I think
Yeah.
she's
It's not a good idea.
She's still she's slowly trying to coax him back into the relationship, isn't she?
Yeah. I think so. I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea. I think that you seem like you would be fine with that scenario because you're getting it in. But I think that she would probably develop feelings, and it seems like based off what you said, there's no way you're ever going to be in a relationship with this particular person ever again because like the spark died, or maybe it wasn't there in the first place. You're trying to make something out of nothing. And yeah, it just doesn't seem like a good idea.
She felt rejected, and right now she's doing everything she can. She'll say yes to anything to get you back.
Yeah.
And then
she'll convince herself she's horny for you to do it.
Right, but then she doesn't. I don't think she truly means she's fine with you hooking up with other people
No.
and continuing a relationship. Like it just. I mean, I just feel like, especially, it's not because like you didn't have. It's not like you had throughout the relationship amazing sexual chemistry. Like it's like
It wasn't really
you actually
there.
didn't, and now you had one positive experience at the end of it, and you're gonna like it's all this mess based on that one. It just seems like like the
Why
risk
go-
is not worth the reward.
Why
you
go
know?
back to your ex when there's other women out there that you can have a meaningful relationship with if that's what you want right now? But also, if you just want to fuck, go out there and fuck. Just don't fuck her. Like it's too messy.
It's the summer. You don't need this.
Yeah. You don't need that shit, Zach.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through my second hoe phase. The
Good for
first
you.
one being right after I was on stage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
You
we're
need
happy
it,
to ordain
too.
both of your hoe phases.
Because you jumped right into a
Thank
relationship.
you. You guys are like the
Yeah, go ahead.
you guys are like the catalyst.
Yay! I love that. I love that for us.
Yeah, and stop fucking lily padding into relationships. It's such a hack heterosexual male thing to do.
Yeah. Go out there and fuck and just keep
heal.
fucking.
Heal, please.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thank-
calling, Zach.
All right. Thank you guys.
Have a good night. Godspeed.
Sounds just like a long rebound, I think. Oh, man.
Let's see any text. Hi, I'm looking for advice. Dealing with an ex sugar daddy dying. Oh. Okay, we gotta take this call.
Hold, please.
That's
One
what
to
happens
start
to
the
sugar
call.
daddies. I guess
To
they
decline,
die.
press 1 to start. The call will start at the beep.
Hello, you're live on Guys We Fucked. What's your name? What can we do you for? Snooze, you lose. I'm looking for advice on a dying sugar daddy. We hadn't spoken for well over a year. I got an insane message from his long-term partner who absolutely didn't know he was engaging in this relationship. Should I reply to her message?
Wait, is this the message?
Oh, yes, it is. Spill the tea, girl. The message from her sugar daddy's long-term partner reads, I don't know your relationship with this person, but I am his common law partner. He passed away. You won't be getting any more money from him. Ooh. He was my best friend in love for 16 years. Do not reply.
Don't reply. Don't reply.
She's hurting. Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks. She's grieving the loss, and then she's probably looking back at her relationship going, was it real?
Yeah, don't reply.
Don't
there's
reply.
there's nothing that you could say that's gonna get a good reaction or gonna work or whatever. Just and I'm sorry for your loss if you had a connection as well, but obviously there's
Oh, that poor woman.
guys, you gotta no, you never know when you're gonna die, so make sure your business is organized and cleaned up. Good God.
Yeah, man, get your hose in order before you pass away. Hi, hello, you're live on Guys We Fucked. What's your name? How can we help you?
Hi, my name's Megan.
Hello.
Hi. So this is gonna sound crazy, but
Try us.
I am going through. I'm going through I trauma bonded with this guy. Okay.
Great sex.
I was with my ex for 6 years, and he had passed away.
Oh.
And so shortly after that, this guy that I used to have a thing with messages me, and he was super toxic, you know, back when we used to mess around. And he had just lost his baby mama at that time. Like they had broken. Kind of like we both needed somebody, and it was like a comfortable thing.
And you both understood each other's losses very well.
We like each other, purely sexual, and in the beginning when we had first gotten together. So it was like, I'm sorry, it blows my mind that I actually got through to you guys because I've watched you since like 2000. And I've never.
Nice. We're surprisingly accessible. That's what people say about us.
Yeah, but I'm glad you got through. I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, so him and I were hooking up, and I ended up pregnant.
Oh, his sperm
with
is
my
strong.
third.
Okay.
Yeah, with my third child, and him and I got a place together immediately.
Okay.
Totally a bad idea. But,
is it? I don't know. You tell us.
I would say if you're both going off of death, this is not going to be great.
It's
We're
probably-
not making clear-headed decisions.
Yeah.
Right, and it was like more so. I've always been a giver, you know. Like I've always just never. I've never expected anything in return, which I think is also, you know,
That's
because of
something
the
to
way
work
I
on.
grew up. So
Yeah.
I've always just been always trying to like do extra.
Yep.
But
like, you have
anyway,
to earn something to be loved. Yeah, yeah.
Right, you know, like my worth is like how much I can get done around the house, or like how much I can do for my kids and my family, which really sucks, you know, because if I don't finish the dishes, it's like, should I even have sat down today? You know?
Right.
So it's kind of depressing. But he is a struggling addict, or he was, and he also has gambling issues. And me being, I've always been a stay-at-home mom, not that I wanted to be, but just that it was what was easiest in my area, because I live in a really small town of like 800 people. So it's really hard to find like childcare or work that you don't have to travel for.
Right. Yeah, and at the end of the day, if your salary is as much as a babysitter, just fucking stay with your kids, right?
Right. I mean, it's like, you know, almost $400 a week for daycare for one child, you know, and like around here, it's impossible. So with my last boyfriend, he was the provider. So I was the homemaker. It was whatever. But that was expected, you know, like he understood that. He was willing to be, you know, the step-up father, like, because my 2 children that I had prior, they like took on, like he tried to take on the role of like being their dad, even though he would leave on the weekends and then like totally go MIA and like not. He would like block my number, and then he'd be like, I just need to let off some steam, even though he works all week. And the last couple of weeks it's been really hard because we have a newborn and he just hasn't been around. So I kicked him out after, you know,
that's good.
Been doing this for months, and now he's been like posting on his Snapchat story like our songs and stuff, and he's like, he calls me and he's like, just wondering,
are you dating a 14-year-old boy? What?
I know, he's 36, so like you would think that maybe
his little boy needs some healing.
Oh my god, my pussy just dried up. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Right.
Snapchat is insane. He should be arrested for having a Snapchat as a 36-year-old man.
Among other things.
He should be on a list. He's not safe to be around. It's him and him and Crystalia are the only men of that fucking age on Snapchat.
True. Shout out, Chris.
I really agree, and it's a problem because
it is a problem
when he's around. You know, he works and he goes, you know, and he does whatever he wants on the weekends. I'm a stay-at-home mom, 24/7, and
You're not
he calls
a team.
me to ask me if I'm. No, and it really sucks. And then he got mad at me, and he had told me like he didn't sign up for this life, and like I'm suffocating him because I'm wanting him home on the weekends.
Okay.
But it's so hard. Like, I mean, it's been over a year now that we've been together, but it's like it's hard for me to like allow myself to move on from him because he came into my life so shortly after my ex had passed that it's.
Without him, are you forced to grieve, like really fully grieve your ex?
I mean, like I was the one who found my ex, you know, like, so.
Yeah, that's
and
rough.
then like
that's
I kind of, I never went to therapy. I've never been to any sort of, like, I never got help for it, so it's been hard. And prior, I had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Oh my gosh, girl. Yeah, that's so tough.
Yeah, so it is really hard. And then he had like proof, or at the time it's like he molded himself to be what like I was looking for, like a father figure, someone who's supportive. And he's like, you can cry to me and talk about him as much as you want. And he's like, let's hang his pictures up, like as long as his pictures are up, his memories around. And then eventually he would get mad at me because like I slept with his pillow every night and that was never an issue. But I was with him for 6 years, so it was really hard for me.
Yeah.
And I always felt guilty.
See, you're looking at this guy, this toxic guy who came into your life, Snapchat McGee, as someone who came in like for, he must have come in for a reason. When you can also look at it from the perspective that when you are at your most vulnerable, that is when the cracks happen, and the most toxic people in your life can seep back in. And this is true for me as well. Not necessarily people who previously were toxic, but I feel like it was like it really opened me up to toxic experiences that I wouldn't have been open to if I was completely healed and of sound mind, because you're just so desperate for like connection and you know, and just, you know, even like not being alone, so you'll like consider things that you normally would have never considered. And this is not about Dylan, just to clear that up. If anyone's thinking about it, people are gonna be like that.
But are you sure, Corinne? Do you even know your own mind?
Dylan was a real boyfriend, even though he was significantly younger, and would think whatever you want about that. But this is for other things that happened actually more like last year, which like ended up being like the most difficult year in the healing process. So I understand why you see him in the light that you do, because it feels woo-woo and serendipitous or whatever it is that you believe in. It feels like something sent. But I would argue that when you are at your lowest and your most vulnerable, that's when the worst people enter your life. And I think that's exactly what happened now.
Yeah. So it sounds like you both have a lot of healing to do. He has a lot of healing. He's basically
growing up for him.
He's basically yelling at you for things he's doing. So, and that to me is very like childlike behavior. It's very trauma behavior. That's adult children of alcoholic or dysfunctional families 101 shit.
Right.
So I hope that he gets the help that he needs, because he needs it. He needs love and support, but not from you. You need to give yourself love and support. And you have 3 babies.
Right, and it's so hard because it's like he gets to choose, he gets to pick and choose when he wants to be a parent, and he tells me it's because he never had a dad, but he wants to be the dad that he always like wanted, and his mom died when he was super young, so he had no parents.
Oh gosh, that's tough.
And I feel bad because I've given him so many chances to like go to therapy and fix himself, and like he's in outpatient for like his addictions and everything, but it's like he's supposed to be the provider, but yet like he can gamble his entire paycheck away, and then like
and then
we're
just
behind.
he goes and fucks off on the weekends.
Yeah, it's crazy that he tries to say being a mother is a 24-hour job, but being a dad is a fucking part-time job.
That's such bullshit.
And I have even less sympathy for him now, knowing that he grew up mostly without parents, and he knows how fucking difficult that is. And then he's trying to do that to children again. Fuck this guy. And all the grace that you're offering him with the healing and
Give
trying to get him in therapy, give to yourself. And this guy is a lost fucking cause, and I hope that he maybe shows up for his kids one day, but truly fuck this guy.
Do not plan on it. And and his container is empty. He has no energy to be a dad, and he probably desperately wants to, but he has to do the hard work of figuring himself out and getting to know himself, which is extremely painful. But one of the most loving things you can do to an addict or to somebody who's behaving in the way that he is leave him. That is the most loving thing you could do for that man and for yourself.
Like we traveled one time, and this is going to be, any of my friends who watch this are going to be like, oh, I know who that is. But we had traveled one time a month after my youngest was born, and we went back to New Hampshire, where he came from.
That explains a lot.
Had came back.
It's the weirdest state I've ever been to. Something's off.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. My first time on a plane ever, you know. And so he brought back drugs in his suitcase with my bag tag. And he didn't get caught. But I was like totally done, because like I said, I had just lost my ex, and it was because of an overdose. So the fact that he had like done that.
Oh, girl.
And he also doesn't respect you. He put it in your fucking checked luggage, so you're taking the risk. That's abhorrent.
Yep.
Yeah. This guy needs so much healing.
Like, you didn't even care. And he's like, oh, that's just the roll of the dice, I guess. Okay. So I was ready to leave him, and he checked himself into treatment. He went into treatment. He completed his program. And he comes out, and then it's like he's supposed to do outpatient, and he's doing the same exact shit. So I packed all of his stuff, and I put it on the porch, and I was like, if you don't get this, it's free to anyone who wants it. Like, I'm not, I can't do it. So I was like, you have the night to get it. Otherwise, like, I'm not going to look at it anymore.
Yeah.
And he came and got his stuff, and he was hauling it away, and he didn't even acknowledge his child. He didn't look at him, and he left me his dog. Like, the dog.
Oh
like
my
he
God.
Dog. His dog got 3 kids and 2 dogs.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, screw this guy. But more importantly, what's the plan for you? How are you making money? And also, is there any risk that this guy would be violent? Is there any risk that this guy would be violent towards you? I'm only concerned about your safety and moving forward and the welfare of your children and the dogs. But what's we need the plan for how you're making money, and then the plan for how you're staying safe. I mean, he owes you money, obviously, for that one kid.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm applying for jobs. I've applied for jobs, and I'm, waiting. It's only been a week since all this happened, so it's like it's gonna take time. But it's so stressful because he will do whatever he wants, but then he'll call me at the end of the night, and he'll be like, "I'm just making sure you're doing okay without me."
Oh, I'm
like,
fine, thanks.
Fine.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
for the time
like,
being, for your own mental sanity, and I know that there's custody issues here, but I'm like, man, can you just, I know you can't block him legally because he's the father of one of your children, but like, just
right, but he blocks me when he does.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, you have to, whatever, I'm not sure, but I mean, whatever the legal, you have his, like, who this guy really is. Like, you have his identification and stuff from the fact that you rented a house together. Okay. So, I mean, that's the way that you would use that.
No,
you own it?
You own it. Oh, okay, good.
Is it just only you, not him?
Yeah, he's not on it. It's just me.
Okay, so good move there.
Good move.
I mean, and then, and so you have his real, as long as you have the real information and like real idea of who he is, you file so that you can get child support for the child that you share together. I honestly, it doesn't seem like he's going to be very present, so I wouldn't even worry about the custody right now. It doesn't seem like he fucking wants to be involved, but I guess you cross that bridge when you get there. And then, I mean, can you also, while you're figuring stuff out, file for government assistance to help for these other two kids? I mean, I don't know what state you live in, because he was from New Hampshire, but I don't know where you live or what the legality is there. But like, you seems like you need money, and you can't let your kids go
I live
hungry.
in Minnesota.
Okay,
but I do get like security because of their father passing, but it's not a livable amount. Like, there's no way. It's not, and that's not what I want to do.
Right. But well, for the time being, it's like
it makes me. Yeah, like if I can get by now, and like I'm working on it, and I need to get a job, but like I need to get my kids into daycare.
Well, I was gonna say, can you get a job?
Like
obviously, working from home does not allow you to be a present full-time stay-at-home parent. But like, I know that they have like remote assistant jobs where it's somebody like. So, are there any jobs you can apply for that are part-time where you work from home?
I would have to look into it. Like I said, like I live in an 800, population town.
Right.
So
well, that's
the
beauty. Because I know, like my manager said to me once during a call, like a year or two ago, like, oh, they have remote assistants that will just work. They work from home and they help you like organize your emails or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's a job, and that's the good thing about a remote job. It doesn't matter what kind of town you live in and what the population is. All you need is an internet connection and a computer. So I would say look for those first, because those are going to be more helpful for your current needs of your lifestyle at the moment.
Or additionally, like, I mean, this is the time when you got to go, what skills do I have and how can I use them? So you've been a homemaker for so long. Yes, it's an 800-person town, but like,
oh my God.
Can you do can you start a babysitting business where you just add on a couple other kids to the kids that you're already home with? Like, I think that's like a common thing that people do. I mean, because this is the time where it's like, it's not going to be pleasant. Like, you have a tough road ahead of you, and it sucks. And I'm sorry that you're in this situation, but like, yeah, you got to fucking go. How am I getting money, and how am I getting out of this?
And the glass half full perspective too is like, you have an opportunity, a really beautiful opportunity to teach all three of your children what it means to love a child and what it means to get up on your feet and to love yourself and to put yourself first for the sake of your family, meaning you and your three kids. And they're going to remember that for the rest of their lives. They will never forget that. So I think that you also have an opportunity to really help them be extremely well-adjusted people by, working hard and, figuring this out.
Yeah. And I think that like a lot of my issue comes from like, I'm so overstimulated easily because of like my unresolved trauma. Like, you had recommended the book, The Origins of Youth. I'm reading that currently or listening to it, but trying to like learn, but it's like, I need to get into therapy. I need to get into like trauma-based therapy, so like conclude everything and like lay it all out. And I just like don't even have a minute for me, like at all. Like, so it's like, how do I haven't been to the doctor for like any issue in, I don't even remember the last time, because it's never about me. I don't have time for me. I don't have friends. I mean, I've got a couple friends, but I don't go out, like, hang out with my friends. Like, I don't even leave my house. And you know how sad that is? Like,
yeah, you need
I'm
social
young.
interaction.
But
Yeah.
it's my choice, ultimately.
Right.
And I'm accepting that. But like I expected my partner to take on some of that weight. And it's really discouraging when you expected that and it was never there.
Yeah.
And I keep waiting for him, like, and he hasn't. But it's like, if he just promised me like one more time that he was gonna change, but I feel like I'm stupid enough to be like,
no, but
so we're not going to do that. So we're not going to do that. We're not. He very well an addict, especially someone of his nature that you've described to him so far. He does seem like he really enjoys the opportunity to make amends and to make up for his behaviors. The thing is, you know, it's going to go back to one. So that cannot happen. That absolutely cannot and will not happen. He cannot come back into your life in that way at all. That's a ticking time bomb.
Absolutely.
And what example are you showing your children? Even if they're super young, they're going to pick up on this. And if their mother is working their ass off, even if she's not happy in this moment, you could still be a good parent and not be a happy person, right? But, like, you know, if you are doing what you need to do for yourself, that they will read that.
Exactly.
Well, and also,
I'm like,
go ahead.
He had like, because we're a big, like, there's a pretty big age gap between us. So anytime, like, he'll say he admires me because of my patience with the kids, or like all the effort that I put in to, like, keep the house nice and to make him happy and, like, make him lunches and, like, keep his laundry done and, like, everything, you know,
mommy.
everything. Like it's too. I've got 4 kids.
Yes.
And then he'll be like, rub my age in my face, and he'll be like, oh, you want me to do something, but you're only, you know, I'm 23. So he's like, you're only 23. You can't tell me what to do, and you don't even have a life.
This guy is so fucked up.
This guy's 36 and way more immature than you. That's a psychotic. But okay, so what we're gonna do? You also have to look at the pattern that you already created for that is already present in your life. Okay, so you unfortunately lost your first partner and the father of your 2 children to an overdose, and now you're dating an addict again. That's correct, right? Do not, because don't let that happen again, for your own sake, for your children's sake, for anyone. And also, don't let this fucking Snapchat come back into your life and impregnate you again.
Yes, do not let him back into your vagina ever, 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 ever.
No, I got
what?
I was doing like the birth control pills, and it failed me twice. And
shit.
so,
what pill failed you twice?
But guess what? Won't fail. Don't let him. Don't let him inside of your body. That'll never fail you.
Oh, man.
Wait. What was the name of the pill you're on? Because that's like, I mean, like, statistically, that's pretty wild that it failed you twice. Are you immune to it or something?
I have a really high, like, my ovulation. It's, like, insane. So
whoa,
I have to, like, because I take it the same time of day every day, not just the same day. And if I, like, didn't do that, it messed it up. So my second child was a birth control baby because I didn't take it in the morning, and I took it. Same with my third child because I didn't take it at night.
Wow. Okay, so we got to stick to the schedule, but also for now, don't let anybody.
Now I have the NuvaRing, and it's
okay.
Yeah, I was like, I would go on a different form of birth control because obviously that one is not reliable.
No. But yeah, and he had told me because he was like, this is gonna be super, like, gross, but we were having sex one time, and he's like, yeah, I pulled your ring out, and he's like, we're having another baby, and I was like, you better fucking not have. Like, you better.
That's assault.
Did he do
that?
Why
are you trying to attack me?
Did he really do that? Because that's assault. Okay, because I'm gonna fucking go and
his sense of humor sucks
and write a book about this guy, as Shane would say.
I wish I had, you know, a whole day with you guys to tell you everything that's happened, but he would, like, joke about
this guy's done. I mean, I know he might be in your life forever in a small capacity because you share a child, but this guy is done.
Yes, and whenever you feel yourself possibly buckling, you imagine us going, bitch, no,
right.
bitch.
Yeah, and he called me earlier, and he's like, yeah, well, if you don't have your hands full later, call me. And I was like, well, I will, so don't wait on that call because it's not going to come. And he's like, okay, well, call me later. And I was like,
this is also to the point
goodbye.
where he does not deserve your courtesy. He does not deserve your politeness. He does not deserve your kindness. He doesn't deserve anything from you until he gets his shit together, when maybe you could potentially talk about him seeing his child again. But that is so far down the line, man.
Yeah, he's a real embarrassment.
And it's not his first child. It's his third.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me. And guess what? You're only 23. You have an incredible amount of experience, more than a lot of 23-year-olds have, not just with having the 3 children, but with the traumas that you've been through. And so you really have an opportunity to make one of the most important pivots of your entire life right now. And I know you can do it. And you're going to do it.
I need to. I'm just like, I just really let the loneliness, because like I've never been alone.
Yeah. Well,
so
you have your children.
And yeah,
and you have to
as
stop.
soon as I fall asleep, I'm like,
yeah, you have to stop the pattern of expecting men to provide for you or be like the safety and security you need. I know, like in a traditional sense that those are like the roles that like the masculine and the feminine are supposed to be playing, but no, these men have not provided safety or security for you, and I would argue in many instances like made your life worse or more difficult, whether it was by accident or on purpose. So this is the time to change that pattern.
Yes, and you're going to, and it's not going to be a walk in the park, but it's goddamn is it going to be worth it, because you're setting yourself up for the rest of your life in a great way.
Right. And I'm not, like, I am a worker. Like, I've worked ever since I could. Like, and so for me to, like, not work is
doing that a lot. Yeah. I gotta be honest. I'm getting tired just thinking of all the work you're gonna have to do. But you're 23, so that's the good news.
You got energy, baby.
I had a lot more energy when I was 23.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, like, my first thing that I think about is, like, my coffee being made in the morning, and I'm like, that's it. Like, that's the only thing I'm looking forward to.
Whatever gets you out of bed, baby.
Whatever gets you through the day. And then make sure, you slowly start to integrate you time into your schedule. Even if it's for 1 hour a week, spend that hour making a doctor's appointment, perhaps, or just spend that hour meditate. I know it's going to be difficult with 3 kids. You got to wait till they're all asleep.
I just kind of look at the meditation crying, like, this is going to sound juvenile, but I like to do, like, the coloring with like all the different patterns.
You're 23, you are a child. It's okay.
First of all, you are a child, but second of all, I'm 35, and fucking watercolors and coloring in a coloring book is one of my favorite things to do. So never lose your love for those things.
Exactly. It makes me sad that I feel like I couldn't even tell somebody, like, if they asked me what I was into, what my hobbies are, I'd be like, I don't even know. Like, I can't remember.
Yeah. So
now I've been a parent since
your homework assignment, in addition to continuing to being a parent, the mother to your 3 children, is to get to know yourself, And not to plug this, but it's for $5 a month. I do group therapy on my Patreon, and like I guarantee you, there's probably free. Actually, no, you don't even have to pay. So if you go to Adult Children of Alcoholic and Dysfunctional Families, they have hourly Zooms online ever since the pandemic. You can do pretty much every hour on the hour. They have it for AA. They have it, but Adult Children of Alcoholic and Dysfunctional Families is a great one because it's not just addicts. It's just people that have been traumatized or people that have dated addicts, which you have. So, and those are completely free. Sometimes they can get a little dark because I've been on those meetings, but not all of them. If you don't go to the ones at like 3 a.m., you're pretty much in the clear. But go look up Adult Children of Alcoholic and Dysfunctional Families and look up their meetings. I guarantee you'll be able to join one, anytime, and you don't have to have your video or sound on. You could just listen in. So if your kids are there, you don't have to share. You could just listen. There's a lot of healing in that too. But then, if you have a moment where you can share, I think it's like 2 minutes. Everybody gets 2 minutes in those meetings.
It's an open mic.
Basically, yeah.
Don't buy a drink.
Open mic for your trauma. But yeah, that's a really great resource to start talking, and it's anonymous. You can talk in those groups without your video on, so no one will know who you are. You can be as honest as you possibly can in those meetings, and that'll at least help you talk things out to start to get to know yourself before, up until the time comes when you can afford therapy.
Yeah, because you need to do some healing too. I think you've been using this new boyfriend to not have to go through the cycle of grief. And listen, it's lovely to avoid the cycle of grief because it really puts a damper on your day, year, maybe several years. But you need to unpack that because it's really unhealthy to carry it around if you haven't the only way out is through kind of a thing.
And I feel like at the same time, like I have to grieve the loss of both of them, even though like one's still alive, but like he's still picking and choosing, which is really hard. And I feel like I can like put myself through therapy with like the books that I can read or listen to and stuff like that. But it's not enough, like it hasn't worked. Like the TED Talks haven't worked. I haven't been able to learn enough tools.
It hasn't been enough time either.
Yeah,
I mean,
you gotta really. This is like healing yourself is you dedicate that your rest of your life to that. But it's as somebody who has done that for like the last couple of years of kind of like dedicating my life to it, I gotta say, it is remarkable to watch yourself blossom.
And just stay away from dudes. You're going on a penis detox, please.
Yeah, no wieners near you. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that won't be hard. I don't have time for that anyway.
Perfect. Good. I'm glad. I'm excited for your new journey. Yeah. And you've been through a lot, and I think it sounds like you have a good head on your shoulders, and you really have this opportunity at such a young age to set up the rest of your life to be really beautiful and meaningful.
Like things could happen in a year from now that I never expected, and I just gotta rely on that better things are coming. I just can't sit under a rain cloud my whole life or the rest of my life.
Yeah, and also you're the one you've been waiting for.
Oh. Thank you. I needed that. It's been a hard week.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much for calling in, and best of luck. You're gonna crush it.
Answering.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You go. You have a lot of work to do, lady.
I know.
I'm so sleepy.
But at 23, I just think of like I didn't realize I had work to do until I was like 30.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I wasn't even talking about inner work. I was also just talking about like truly just we're just Indeed.com.
Yeah. A lot of things on your to-do list are gonna pop up.
Fuck, man.
Woo.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm like, what kind of? When you really think about it, you're like, even if say she was just in the first scenario where her partner just passed away, like if they're not married, like what happens if you have multiple kids and he was the provider, so he was making money. Like, are there what do you do? I don't know the answer to that besides government assistance and like that. I don't think that's enough. But you get it. I think it's per child, right?
I think so.
Yeah. It's also probably state by state.
Greetings. You're live on Guys We Fucked. What's your name? How can we help you?
Hi. I am Katie, and I have a question, advice I need about a situationship.
Okay, let's go.
So the long story short is about 2 years ago, I like reconnected with an old like hookup buddy, and it was like right after I was getting out of a breakup, and I reached out to him. I knew he'd still be single, so I like DM'd him on Instagram. I didn't even have his number anymore, and was like, "Hey, what's up? Let's get it going." And throughout that, we like started hooking up, and then it was kind of more datey, and then we ended up dating for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like we want very different things. So we know that a real relationship won't work.
Okay.
Now, so it's like 2 years later, and we're like just hooking up now, just kind of in this like situationship, like kind of do datey things, like boyfriend girlfriend things, but we know it's never gonna work. So like, it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. So wait, have you been hooking up for the past 2 years, or you started hooking up again?
For the past years, like it hasn't stopped throughout that whole like iteration of us like just hooking up and trying to date, then just kind of like going back to this again.
Okay.
2 years.
Got it. So you've been dating for 2 years.
So, well, it's weird because like, okay,
there's no future.
there's no future. He wants kids. I don't. He wants to be in some kind of like non-monogamous relationship.
Which he is.
Oh my God. I hate him. I want kids.
I want a woman to have my babies, and I want to be able to fuck whoever I want.
Right. And like also he's just like he's an asshole. Like I don't the qualities that I would want in somebody, like very good.
I don't like him, but
the sex is really good.
Sex is good.
Okay. So at least
Like
there's that.
very good. And he's like into like cuz he's like, you know, has done like lifestyle things for a while. Like I've gone to like sex clubs with him, and like we've done a bunch of like crazy shit.
That's so fun. It does bond.
So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Right. Like and that's like the first experience I've had with any of that stuff. So like
yeah.
It is like that's cool. Like I can see like benefits and whatever non-monogamy, but he's just really wild. Like
he's not the only guy
he
in
wants
town
like zero boundaries.
who will go to a sex club. It's not that hard to find.
Well, that's true. And I mean, like, it's just like my friends don't like him.
Crazy.
Really? Why not?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I agree with them. Like he's not. Like I said, like he's not.
He's trash.
I don't like him like that. But it's just like he's nice to have around.
For the dick.
But like my friends get pissed at me, and they're kind of like, "Why? Like you're wasting your time. Don't you want to like go out there and meet people and like go on dates, whatever?" And like,
fair.
And you're probably talking about him a lot because the fact that you're calling into us makes me seem like it's one thing if you just want to have an asshole who you fuck, but you can't also waste your friend's time with the asshole stories.
So true.
That's very important.
No, I totally agree, and I don't complain about him anymore. I don't talk about like what we do anymore. But it's more just
got tired of it.
Like my friends are like, "Hey,
this guy one more time."
They bring it up. They're like, "Oh, what are you doing on Saturday?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm hanging out with Phil." So like, what else am I?
That's not them bringing it up. That's them being good friends and asking.
That's them asking to hang out with you, and then you saying, "No, I gotta fuck this
No.
dipshit."
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like that's the only time it comes up, and then they're like, "Oh, he's so annoying." Like,
right. So what's your dilemma here?
Like, go out there and get a real boyfriend.
What's your dilemma?
My dilemma is like, what is that? Am I being crazy? Like, or should I be out there like trying to find?
What do you
a
want?
boyfriend?
You don't ever have to have
like,
a boyfriend.
Yeah. Do you want a relationship? Do you want to get married? Do you want a long-term relationship? Like, what do you want in your life?
I'm like I'm open to whatever.
Nah, you gotta narrow it down,
happens.
girl. Yeah, but see, that's how you end up fucking this dipshit for forever, and your friends don't want to hear about it. Like, you know.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I am 32.
Okay. Let's rein it in.
Yeah.
You're too old for this. You don't have to have
your
a boyfriend.
Die, dude.
Get
in there.
Yeah, you're too. What I mean by too old is you're too old to be this unsure about what you're looking for in a partner, and for your friends, for you to be fucking a guy that's so trash that you can't talk about him in front of your friends. You're too old for that.
And if you keep not narrowing down, whatever comes my way, I'm a free spirit. Yeah, well, the free spirit is gonna rail in a lot of dipshit dick. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna keep fucking this guy. What we are gonna do is just make a list. Take out that journal. Go to the drugstore and buy one, and go, what do I value in a relationship? What do I want in my life? What makes sense for my lifestyle? Do I want to just have sex? Oh, cool. There's a lot of other dudes that will have sex with you.
Yeah.
Or if you want a relationship, definitely stop fucking this guy because he's holding you back. It's lazy. It's convenient, and it's making you lazy.
Yeah, like I don't think that you have to have a boyfriend, or like you have to really ask. Only you know if you want a relationship, and certainly don't be don't let your friends make that decision for you just because they're at the age where they think that they want relationships and they think that's what would be best for you. But yeah, I don't think leaning into a guy that you're describing as an asshole who wants kids and you have no future with. I also think that's not a great direction. Like it doesn't.
You're only listed no's about this guy, except for the good sex. Like that was the only good guess.
Yeah, the only choices you have are extreme choices.
The comfort is it.
Comfort of what? Fucking an
of
asshole?
His cock?
Come on.
There's so many other cocks. Also, just
having company,
get a suction,
like someone you know.
Yeah, or just get a suction cup dildo from Babeland and stick it on a stool. You'll know that. Name it Gary or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, do that. Like, that's going to be more beneficial because at least there's some, like, growth in that, like, you can just figure out what you like sexually. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's the key. Growth. There's some growth. There's no growth
There's no
in your
growth
situation.
with this. It's dead end. It's depressing. Even if the sex is good, it's still, there's no potential. It's a dying star.
Yeah.
And it's wasting your time, and it's taking taking you away from people who, even if they're not going to be like a boyfriend or a husband, could just open you up to
Fulfill
like
you more.
even new things.
Fulfill your whole and your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I know you're right.
All right. Well, good luck out
Well,
there.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem, girl. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate you.
Man, people love trash dick.
I know.
Damn, they love trash
But
dick.
it's so good. No, it's
They
not.
love it.
You want to go till 10:30?
We can do like 1-2 more calls.
Okay. So call
I have
in,
time.
people. Oh, wait. Did I do not disturb? I'll put that back on. My heart is with that girl with the 3 kids.
Yeah. That's it.
Unknown caller. You're the last one. What do we
Start the call or 2 to decline. Press the call will start at the beep.
Hello. We are live on Guys We Fucked. What's your name and what can we do you for?
Hi, I'm Josie.
Hi, Josie.
Hello.
Hi. So I just wanted to come in and say thank you for what you have done for me in the past. I emailed you guys almost a year ago, and you didn't read the full email on the podcast, but you did bring it up during an interview with, I believe, an accountant a while ago. And I am now I'm 25. I'm a real estate agent, and I like to say super successful money-wise. I've been fully financially independent for a long time.
Sweet. Oh, yeah.
And I was only dating guys who made way less money than me. They were way older than me, and they expected me to pay for everything.
No, thank you.
So I emailed you guys asking, if that was vain of me, if that was crazy of me to want to date people who made the same amount or more as me. And Corinne told me that thought process was keeping women down.
She's right.
Which was very true. I mean, it was very, very true. So I took that to heart. I raised my standards, and it has been amazing. I met a guy a couple months later, and it was amazing. I mean, I'm still with him. I actually live with him now, which is huge for me I lived on my own for 6 years before then.
Fuck yeah.
And it's just great. So I just wanted to call in kind of as a success story. I know relationships aren't always, like the end all be all, but I just wanted to say thank you to you too.
Wow.
And that was great advice that you gave.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, it worked out. It's always really a crapshoot when you go, listen, it sounded good coming out of my mouth.
Well, also, too, you got to take the advice. So kudos for you
Yeah.
for taking that advice to heart and really implementing it into your life. And now you look at the reward you get to see. You get to see a relationship with more quality in it. That's amazing. I'm so glad you called. That's great to end on a high note, too.
Yeah, like wanting more for yourself, I think, is a risk. And like, it takes longer. You have to be alone for longer.
Yeah.
But you're like, okay, well, I deserve this.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
do, and you got it. That's amazing.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yay.
Oh, for
Fuck
sure.
yeah. Thanks for calling. We appreciate that positive story.
Of course.
Have a good night.
Yes, of course. Well, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so
too.
much.
Thanks
Thank
for tuning
you.
in. Oh, that's great.
Well, we've done it again,
We
ladies
did
and gentlemen.
it. We saved people
Save
from
society-
themselves.
Save society from this studio.
You ain't gonna get that on another podcast, huh? No, but with Corinne and Christina, we got a yin and yang. That's cannot compare to anyone else's.
Thank you so much for joining us for our last Instagram. It's not Instagram, sorry, YouTube live from the OG Guys We Fucked studio.
Take it in, baby.
Take it in.
Oh,
Wave
and if
goodbye.
anybody wants to buy this table and you're in the New York City area and you want to come pick it up near Union Square, it's 4 foot wide. We're selling it $300 or best offer. But like, pay us $300 if you have
Wait,
it.
I thought it was 5. You said it. Text me. Is it not?
We paid $600 for it.
No. The width, the diameter.
Oh, it was 4. I thought I texted
Oh,
you. I texted you 4 feet because I went back to look.
Oh, I thought you texted me whatever you put in your Instagram story was different, was one off from what you texted me, and then I didn't know if it was.
Shit! I think I said 5 feet in the Instagram stories, and it was actually 4.
Okay, because I was like, whatever you texted me is what I put on. I just want to make sure if people have the correct measurements.
Yeah.
I literally was like, what do you call the width of a circle on the internet? Was like diameter, you dumb bitch.
Right. I had to look that up too. Circular podcast table is 4 foot wide.
4 foot is the right one.
Yeah. So want to buy
apart.
it? Yeah, it comes apart. You just have to pick it up tomorrow, or Friday, but preferably tomorrow.
$300 or best offer. We paid $600. It's been lightly used for 2 years. We've barely even eaten off of this thing. I mean, a lot of celebs have touched it. Though.
A lot of famous people have touched this table, and no balls have been on it. You know, nothing, no hanky panky. You're not going to get that from some bitch's house.
That's
true.
You
don't know what's been on that table.
This is a nice table too. I really like this table. Yeah. But thank you so much. Take it all in. This is the last broadcast from this studio. We'll be moving on to another studio. We're excited to show it to you. And
if you love the podcast, tell people about it. You know, we experience a lot of really fun like waves of popularity with Guys We Fucked, and we're really proud of how this podcast has evolved. And it's really thanks to you guys. I think that I don't hear of any other comedian with a podcast who's like, I've had fans that have stuck with me for like 10 plus years. We appreciate you so much. It's a beautiful relationship that we have with you. But we want to keep spreading the word. So you verbally spreading the word to your friends or posting about us, following us on social media. I'm at Krystyna Hutch.
I'm at Philanthropy Gal.
And I'm at Mike Coscarelli.
Also, we didn't hear from Mike a lot tonight. He was just breathing into the microphone.
My mic was off, so I wasn't breathing into the mic.
That's sweet. Also, finally, last day of recording here, he fucking turned his mic on.
You guys are so out of your mind. These people that listen to the show don't even hear it because I cut all of it out.
I hear it.
But we hear it. And when I'm talking to a lady about a sexual assault, I don't want you toiling with your baseball.
Hello, Clarice.
The baseball's fair. I dropped the baseball a lot.
A couple times.
But I didn't bring the baseball
You
tonight.
coughed into the mic before. I know you could take it out, but like we can't take it out of our heads. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we love you, Mike.
Subscribe to the YouTube and
we're at Guys We Fucked without the U and fucked on all the social media platforms. Follow us.
There was something else. I don't know what it is. Whatever. We'll talk to you guys a lot. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. This has been Guys We Fucked, the anti-slut shaming podcast, the last live broadcast from the OG studio. Have a great night. Take care.